Hello and welcome to Cookies and Milk episode 45.
I'm your host, Ben.
I'm your host, William.
The topic of today's episode is open world games, or expansive games, or make your game fucking stop already, dude.
So,
I'm absolutely positive we've talked about this before because I feel like a broken record when I talk about games like Metal Gear Solid 5 having fucking nothing to do in them.
well, you're a broken record when you're talking about Metal Gear Solid 5, because we've beaten that into the ground.
So, there's two that I'm working on currently. Darksiders 2 and Nier. And Nier is, like, open. It's not really open world. There is an open world, but it's all sort of, like, slow. It's just sort of the entirety of Nier doesn't know when the fuck to stop going. It's like, hey, content. You like content, right?
Yeah.
You like your game to keep going forever and ever on to infinitum?
Uh-huh.
And it's like, no. And it's like, you like 3 playthroughs? Where we change slight things to make it different? And it's like, no, I don't. You like waves of battles that never end? Fucking no. I'm also playing Darksiders 2, and I keep, like, putting this game down and picking it back up. It's fun. Like, the combat's really good, and it feels super good, and leveling up is great. But, like, when is this game gonna fucking stop? I'm so detached from the story at this point, and that's not a good thing. If your game is long and has a cohesive story, that's one thing. Like, if I can always jump in and know where the fuck I am, I don't know where the fuck I am in Darksiders anymore. You wake up in the Forgelands, you gotta go to the Deathland, there's the corruption, you go to the Deathland, you gotta go to the tree, go to the Lifeland, go to this part, it's like...
Don't forget all those side quests.
And it's like, I keep getting side quests, but it's like the map system's not good, so I never know where the fuck I'm going, and I don't want to go in dungeons a second time, because the dungeons aren't fun. The platforming is great, and it feels like a lot of fun to traverse, but I'm not, like, getting a new great way to traverse locations.
Yeah.
Like, if I got, like, a super jump, I'd be like, fuck, it's time to go back through all the dungeons and just do that. Or if I got, like, a fucking skeleton key, then once I beat a dungeon, I could just have every door unlocked without having to do any bullshit or step on any switches. I could just go through the whole thing. That'd be one thing, but I'm not getting that. So once I beat a dungeon, I'm never going to want to go into it again. Ever.
Yeah. So I'll say this, Mass Effect Andromeda is the next person on the roster in which they had a good game going. Mass Effect 1, good intro to the series. Mass Effect 2, they streamlined a lot, made gameplay better, removed the barren landscapes. Mass Effect 3, action after action, so good. It makes you feel like everything you've been building up to is now out and about. Oh, Ben. Ben lost his cookie into the milk. Mass Effect Andromeda.
As a very brief second. Oh, we're having chips talks.
Yeah. What were you going to say? Okay. Mass Effect Andromeda. I do like it. I do enjoy it. But I will say this. A lot of the side quests felt just like nothing.
Yeah.
And there's even more things like you talk to someone and they're like, okay, we mark these supply caches. Why? Oh, I understand, like, contextually, like, why I should do it, but it's like, it's not fun to do. Also, it's in, like, it's like in an errands page.
Right.
Like, there are specific quests that it's just like errands, and there's not a way to properly mark them on your map.
Ugh.
Like, you can't click on them and mark it as active.
That's a very brief side topic.
Yeah?
I did some stuff with the pool today. Like, I put a bunch of chemicals in the pool.
Yeah?
And we also washed a dog. And my hands just smell like chemicals. Like, that's all they smell like. Yours probably don't because you didn't do the pool thing, but mine just smell like fucking pool chemicals.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's fucking terrible. I'm trying to, like, avoid it while I eat, but I can't do it. But it's one thing to have, like, a huge open world full of stuff to do. And it's another to have a open world with nothing to do. And then it's like a middle thing. To have a world where your side quests are fucking shitty and they're bad.
Yeah.
Nier has these god-awful side quests. Like, each of them sort of has a little, like, some weight to it. or little conversations in the meantime, and it adds a little bit more. If I liked any of the characters of the world or any of that, I would maybe like it more.
Yep.
I don't, so I don't. But they're also literally all the exact fucking same. Hey, near guy, can you go find us 10 of this thing? Or, hey, our son's missing. Go find our son. Walk over here. Hey, it's our son. He's like, I'm not going to go back unless I make this sweet meal for this person. In order to do that, I need all of these items. So go find me 10 of this, 10 of this, 10 of this. And then it, fucking doesn't tell you where to get these things.
Yeah.
So you're literally just, wandering around and oh, maybe I can get...
Rubble's causing trouble.
That's a section of the podcast. But when it's, and then, on the rare occasion that it's this enemy is here, can you go kill this enemy? The enemy, has a fucking 2% spawn rate, and it's just hey, I can't fucking do this.
What? There is a spawn rate on enemies?
There's this one part where it's hey, there's this monster on the bridge, and he, killed my whole family. Can you go kill him for me, avenge him? And I go to the bridge, he's not there. I go to the bridge, he's not there. And I go to the bridge, he's not there. And I go to the bridge, it's not there. And I go to the bridge, and it's not there. And I do this 100 times. And then it finally shows up, and then it kills me. And I'm like, huh. But then I respawn, and it's there, so I kill it. And I'm like, thank God. But it's just it's fucking shitty. And nothing is ever marked on your map. And there's no way you can select these quests to go to instead of your main thing.
It sounds like Nier doesn't grasp how
being an RPG works.
Yeah. If a quest starts, that's when that thing shows up. It's not like you have to go, oh, that monster's just feeling like it's on the bridge now. Sometimes it's there. It has to always be there if you have the quest, Nier.
And it's if there were some hint, and it's it only comes out during X kind of day, then I could be oh, well, it's X kind of day, I'll go check out the parameters. But there's no fucking parameters. There's no anything. It's just sort of fucking, oh man, I guess the monster was there this time. Lucky you, near guy. And also the DLC.
Yeah.
I talked about this briefly today. The DLC, or I talked about it briefly, period. The DLC fucking sucks. If you wanted to know why I hate Nier so much, look no further than the DLC. It's so fucking, up its own ass about everything.
Sounds like I have to look no further than Nier.
Yeah, that's true. You can just play the first couple and it's oh, but Ben, you're playing on hard mode, so you're gonna have a worse time with it. You can play the game on hard mode from the very beginning, and also, even if you play the game straight through, I've been playing the game for several fucking 100 hours at this point. Or almost 100 hours.
Definitely not 100 hours yet.
I think I'm at 100 hours. But it's just I shouldn't still be having these issues. I know how to play the game. I know how to sort out all my systems. I shouldn't be getting one hit by or two hit by random enemies that show up.
Yeah.
The DLC is crushingly difficult. Is full of these bullshit segments. Has way too many enemies and goes on way the fuck too long. The first day, also just random bits of story in the meantime that are just hey man, shut up. I have to see this 12 times going through this. It's also the only way to get really rare materials consistently, and that's just the icing on the cake. The first level of the DLC is fine. I don't remember much of it at this point. It's a lot of bullshit, and you have to do everything in order. The second one is terrible because there's parts of it at the very end where there are these 6 enemies spawn, and I poison all of them. Because fighting them is a waste of time and effort. Because they can literally 2-hit you.
Yeah.
So I poison all of them and then I leave. And then 6 more spawn. I poison all of them and I leave. 6 more spawn. I poison all of them and then I leave again. And I do this a billion times.
Yeah.
The third... there's also stages in it where fucking the video is messed up. It's all grayscale or it's all blurred. And it's just hey, I'm getting motion sick from this? That can't be what you wanted.
Oh boy.
The third stage of the DLC though is... the dumbest thing I've ever played in my fucking life. The first stage of it is just some little bits of bullshit. You can poison the boss and then you leave. Because if you don't leave, he'll fucking 2-hit you if he hits you with any of his attacks.
Oh, fun.
And it's just so I'm gonna leave. Second stage of it is all these pigs. And there's 3 pigs and there's no lock-on system in Nier. So if you lose sight of one of them and it charges you, it can literally deal 3/4 of your health. And then if 2 of them charge you back to back, you die.
Oh boy.
So I gotta do all that, and I literally just poison them, and then I run away, and I try to look at all of them and stun them if they're gonna attack me, and then that one's over. It hits me with a bunch of little ones. The third stage is like fucking 30 little ones, and then these two big things. The little ones will deal like a quarter of my health, but there are 30 of them, so if they start chaining attacks together, they'll just kill me.
Yeah.
And then I beat them, I go into another room where it's like 30 of them again, and then a bridge where it's a bunch of them, and then another room where it's the big guys. And then the fourth stage, there's like 20 enemies total, and I just poison them and I stand on a block, and then more spawn. And then these will two-hit me, so I can't fight them.
Mm-hmm.
Poison them, stand on a block, poison them, stand on a block, poison them, stand on a block, and then a boss shows up. And I poison it, and I run to the back, and I do this. It's just fucking dumb as shit, and it doesn't know when to end, because there's a fifth stage where there's a bunch of enemies that I jump through, and then it's 3 bosses in a row. And it's just like, Nier, who the fuck wants this? Who played this and was like, I'm having a good time. I think this is great, and I would love to do this repeatedly in order to get farm the right materials that I need in order to get the fucking stupid weapon trophy.
Mm-hmm.
It just... And I beat 2 of the bosses, and I got to the third one, and then I was fighting it, and it fucking one-hit me, and I was like, I'm level like 60. There's no reason I should even be this high with the main game.
Yeah.
So why is the DLC still fucking kicking my ass?
Mm-hmm.
It's dumb as shit.
Bringing it back to Andromeda.
Sure, of course.
I will say this. The majority of the worlds in Andromeda are very beautiful to look at. And I'm going to say there's one planet where not a lot happened. And I think that's fine. Because it's a planet that broke. It's a planet that is no longer a planet. It looks more like an asteroid, but it's planet-sized. And it is the most... You almost get a sense of horror from it. Because you're driving around, you cannot leave the Nomad. Because the cosmic rays will kill you.
Jesus.
If you get out. You'll get, like... It's one of those things. And you're just driving around, and it's like... You can hear very little sound. And you, like, look to your left, and it's just a giant planet-sized slab of rock.
Jeez.
Jutting out from the earth, and you look to the right, and it just like spirals of planet dust going up to the star, and it's so ambient and atmospheric. It feels amazing. I was only there like twice, but that feeling stuck with me. And I'll also say this. Fuck, I forgot what I was going to say. Also say this. Sure, it might not have been the best way to handle a Mass Effect game, but I'm gonna... Like, the original plans for the Mass Effect Andromeda was gonna be randomly generated worlds. And...
Ugh.
Yeah, exactly. It works with Minecraft. It doesn't work with No Man's Sky, because No Man's Sky is not fun. But it cannot work with a game where the story takes precedent, because you can't establish a strong narrative in a game where where the planets are randomized.
Randomly generated feels like a goddamn buzzword at this point.
Randomly generated. So say I'm playing through Mass Effect Andromeda, the game. If they actually fucking manage to get it out of the cutting room floor without having to restart the whole goddamn game over again. And it is a randomly generated game. It's like, oh, Pathfinder, you need to pathfind. And it's like, okay, I understand. I go there. I go to a planet that's all ice. And the first time, I'm like, whoa, it looks beautiful. I really enjoy this ice and snow planet. And the story, and there's no story here, though.
Yeah, what are they gonna story to put into it?
I plant a base here, and then I go onto the next planet, and then it randomly generates into an ice planet.
And it's like,
And I'm like, I can't make a story with this.
It randomly generates, like, how would the game even be like, hey, you're on this planet, we do things like this and this here, and there are these people here because this and this.
Yeah, you can't build a story on a random planet. Also, Mass Effect Andromeda is...
I'm trying to think.
It's so... It's not a... It's hard to call it a Mass Effect game. Because the original Mass Effects were... It was in an established galaxy filled with lore. And it's like all these interesting races. And then in Mass Effect Andromeda, it's one race.
The human race.
There's one race, and it's the Angara. And it's like, okay, that's fun. Okay, now I met the Ket. First it's like, okay, I met the Ket. Alright, I'm at the Angara. Okay, I'm fighting robots, and that's it. That's the end of the line.
Ugh.
I can't. There's nothing else new to see here. If I'm playing Mass Effect 2, and then I go to Omega, and I see all these, like, this established hive of scum, poverty, thievery, all that, rebels causing trouble again. I'm like, okay, there's an established story here, but there's more to see out in the world.
Right, yeah.
You can't just make a Mass Effect game relegated to one fucking star cluster.
It
has to be
the point.
a galaxy. I'm in Andromeda, not the Helios system.
I'm trying to think, has there ever been, like, have we played a game that's, like, randomly generated and also heavily on the story?
Oh. Somewhat XCOM.
Really?
Well, it's not too heavy on the story, but there's story there, and there's a lot of random elements about it. Another thing could be, I just started playing Darkest Dungeon. Dungeons are randomly generated, I think, or they're at least picked from a list, and quirks are random.
But, like, I'm talking, like, a whole randomly generated world. I was thinking Rogue's Legacy, but Rogue's Legacy is not really heavy on the story.
Right.
How heavy is Darkest Dungeon on, like, the story?
Well, thinking about it is somewhat equal to Rogue's Legacy, because you find little journal excerpts.
Like, there is a story there, but the real meat and potatoes of the game is where you're going through random dungeons.
But I'm not even, like, I'm just starting to get into, like, the medium difficulties, but I've already, like, exhausted every single journal entry.
Ugh.
Like, I found a lot of them, and they're just repeating now.
Right.
There is a story. Like, you can visit your ancestors' mural? No. Statue.
Right.
And it'll be like it'll show you, you'll be able to watch the first two cutscenes, and then it looks like there's more that you have to unlock by beating more enemies.
That makes sense.
So that's true. That's one of the things. Darkest Dungeon, I'm sure the more I go into it, the more it'll be heavy on the story.
Speaking of Rogue's Legacy, though, did you ever beat Rogue's Legacy?
No.
Oh, it's sweet. You should beat it sometime.
When? How? I don't have it on my PS4.
I can like share it to you.
Okay.
Get you your data and everything.
I don't want to. I mean,
what's up, dude?
Rogue's Legacy is fun. I'll give it that. But it's
your kind of game?
I don't know, dude. It feels like I'm making very little progress all the time.
I mean, that's sort of the point, though.
Yeah, that is the point of games like Darkest Dungeon and Rogue's Legacy.
You make little bits of progress every single time, and you get... One of my favorite things about it is that because the only, like, you just gotta find the boss, is that I never felt like I was making, like, an absurd amount of progress, and because the dungeon would shift every time, I never clamped the dungeon down.
Yeah.
I never, like, just locked it in place.
Uh-huh.
Because I wanted it to be random every single time. But because it was always random, I was like, well, fuck, I lost that whole finding that dungeon, or finding that door. But that was just part of the fun. Like, I could have a great time just randomly running through different parts of different dungeons.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, I found the boss sword. Sweet, I could try and take that on this time and then just die. I never did beat the super secret bosses.
Okay.
Because that loses the entire... Once you beat the boss, you unlock the secret boss, and you fight the secret boss as a pre-selected character.
Yeah.
So you can't up their health or up their stats or make it the way you like to play it.
Oh, okay.
So, like, you'll start in a secret boss encounter, and it's like, hey, you're a ninja now. You have 80 health and, like, 80 magic, and it's like, oh, that is not enough of either one to fight this super form of the boss.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, well, fuck you, do it. And it's just like, the it's a good challenge, but it feels so counterintuitive to the way the rest of the game works.
Yeah.
Like, the entire rest of the game is like, build up your forces, find the way you like to play and put into that, and then do it. The problem with the challenge rooms is that you've gone through an entire dungeon and beaten the entire game this one way,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden you're like, hey, you're this character now.
So that's the thing though with Rogue's Legacy, and maybe I came off a little too harsh on Rogue's Legacy. I do enjoy the game. I just haven't played it in forever. You can't always play it the way you want.
Right, sometimes it forces you into other roles.
It always does. Like, the spells are always randomized. Their quirk is always randomized. Like, what class they are is always randomized.
You get to pick from 3.
You get to pick from 3, but there's so many classes. You can't be like, I'm always going to be able to choose Barbarian. You can't always choose Barbarian.
Yeah, alright, so I guess in that way it's sort of... I mean, the more classes you unlock, the more you can find a specific playstyle that fits you. You just can't rely on spells that much.
Okay.
Unless you're like Spellsword Quirk. Archmage.
So you're... I'm going to say you've forgotten... You're not looking at it from the eyes of someone who's beaten the game. You're looking at it from the eyes of someone who's always... You've always stayed in like a single, like, little group of units. Of classes.
Right.
Like, you didn't master every class.
Right.
It's also... You're forgetting that it's not just build up your character. It's also a skill game.
Yeah.
So, at that point in time, like, it doesn't... I imagine, like... I don't want to sound like, oh, Dark Souls, get good. But it's like, you get dropped into the big fight with 80 HP, 80 MP, and you'd be like, okay, I have to make this work. There's no other way I can do it.
Right.
Because the game thinks you're able to do it.
Right, it's... As opposed to the entire rest of the game that sort of approach things however you want to approach it. It's like, but you should be able to approach it this way.
Yeah.
Which is, it's like the equivalent of, say you have your schedule, right? You have your, you're in high school, you have a schedule of a bunch of different classes, and then all of a sudden, you're in homeroom, which is supposed to be a French class, and somebody slams down a pop quiz for math in front of you, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
It's like, you should be able to do this. You have a math class.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit jarring.
Yeah, you're not in the headspace to do math, but you have to be able to do math.
Right.
You're not in the headspace to be a ninja with such low stats, but you have to be able to.
I think I beat one of them. I feel like I beat one of them. It's fucking tough, because these bosses are just way stronger.
Yeah.
I know there's the one where you're a ninja. Oh, yeah, God, that's what it is. I think I beat the eye. With PV.
Quick side note, PV got blasted by a skunk yesterday. So she smells bad. She smells real bad. Get off my bed.
She's gonna sleep at the foot of your bed, it's fine.
She's on the center of my bed.
She's on the foot. Anyways.
I can't sleep with her on my bed, dude. I have to kick her out of my bed.
She smells nice. She's got like a little...
Oh, what's that lemon? Where'd that lemon come from? Did someone spray you in the face with Febreze, PV?
They smell nice.
Febreze? Her eyes are kind of closed now. Now that we gave her a bath and she got... God, it's got...
Can I pet your head?
Because we kept scrubbing it with soap.
Yeah.
I also got hit by a skunk blast.
You kind of give you a pat on the head, you don't have to feel sad. Can I pet you?
She does not like it.
I'm sorry, PV. I'm sorry. Hold on, I gotta take a picture of her, so... There's something on the screen when this is happening. PV, can I pet you?
Oh, God.
Anyways.
I'm, like, my eyes are watering.
She's like, I smell nice. I smell good. I took a shower.
2 showers.
Ah, man. What other games are randomly generated? I'm trying to think of other like big randomly generated games that I've enjoyed.
You haven't even enjoyed any part of Minecraft?
Oh, I mean, obviously Minecraft is real good. Terraria is real good.
What I was gonna say, what about Terraria? You
Terraria
love
is great.
the shit out of Terraria.
Like when I got Terraria on the Vita, I played that so much. But god damn, if those fucking secret bosses aren't terrible.
The thing for us about open world games is that we need a goal.
Yeah.
Oh, one more side note about Andromeda. The open worlds would be so much better if EOS wasn't a world, or was a different environment because they ran out of environment ideas. And we could actually see progress of our settlements become colonies.
One of the things that always gets me is like No Man's Sky. Back when No Man's Sky, people thought it was gonna be good. They were like, "You can beat No Man's Sky in like 4 hours if you just rush to the end." And it's like, I mean, no shit, dude. No Man's Sky was never about that, but that's why I wasn't gonna get it mostly, because like I needed something to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I play video games. I play video games to go from point A to point B, and then if I get lost and get distracted on the way, make it good.
Yeah.
If there's gonna be side quests and stuff to point me away from the main point, make them good and worth it and exciting. Fallout has always been really good about this. Elder Scrolls I always found sort of less so.
What do you mean?
I never found like I wanted to explore the world in Elder Scrolls, or when I did, it would like fucking go against me for it. I spent so long in Skyrim fucking trying to climb mountains just to get over things and explore them, and it's just like, you can't fucking do it. Quote Todd Howard, you see that mountain? That's not just like a backdrop. You can go to that mountain. You can climb it.
No.
You can't fucking do that,
That's
Todd.
Miyamoto. Miyamoto said that.
Miyamoto said that about Skyrim?
That's Skyrim.
Whoa.
Because Legend of Zelda's in Skyrim now, remember?
Oh, right, of course.
Because the amiibo?
Right, yeah. Mods that have existed since fucking 2007.
I'm going to say this
Sure.
about No Man's Sky. You can't do that. You can't you can't beat it in 4 hours.
If you just rush to the end?
If you just rush to the end. No, that's not how it works. You require fuel for your ship.
But if you just land on a new planet and get fuel, keep going.
It's not always that easy. You can get to a barren world, and then it's the scariest thing ever. You know how much time I just spent on a planet because I was scared to go back into space because how lonely it felt? But then you look at the planet and I'm like, oh, it's still lonely.
It's also lonely.
I walk into this fucking space station. It trips the alarm. I have to shoot a floating ball that's trying to kill me. That mech was like part of the government. The government doesn't care. There's literally nothing here. There's a spaceport. Feels empty as ever, though. But all this talk makes me want to play Witcher 3, even though I did not like Witcher 2.
You play Witcher 2?
It was free for Xbox Gold, remember?
Huh.
It's on the Xbox 360 right now, if you want to
know
try it.
You sure you weren't thinking of Crackdown?
No, I'm not thinking of Crackdown. I barely touched Crackdown. I remember playing Witcher 2. What?
I don't think I've ever... I guess I just haven't scrolled over enough to see it.
But apparently Witcher 3 has very good side quests that are very in-depth and well put together. And I'm not saying like Mass Effect Andromeda doesn't have that, because it does. It has some fun side quests.
That's what makes your game.
Yeah, if you do make a big game,
side quests.
Give good side quests.
You want to make it... You want to like reward your players for exploring this world. You want stuff that's like off the beaten path that maybe they wouldn't have seen the first time, but like, hey, you can do this now.
Yeah.
Like Fallout 4. I talk about Fallout 4 a lot. There are a lot of side quests in it.
Yeah,
that
you
were just...
really like Fallout 4.
Yeah, I think I do.
Like, that's fine. I'm just saying that a lot of people feel really disappointed in Fallout 4.
I mean, like, and I understand that completely. Like, there was a lot of shit in that game that was just like, fucking, what? The side quests where you find the ghoul kid in the refrigerator.
There's a ghoul kid?
There's a ghoul kid in a refrigerator, and he's like, hey, let me out. Me and my friends are playing hide and seek. What happened? And it's just, like, the dumbest thing. Like, if you think about it for 30 seconds, it's like, this is the dumbest thing ever. It's, like, sort of scary because you just hear, like, hey, help me, let me out of here, in the...
So wait, are you fucking telling me
Yep.
that this ghoul idiot kid
Yeah.
has been in this refrigerator since before the war.
Since pre-war, yes.
So you're telling me this idiot ghoul kid
Yeah.
hasn't realized that 260 years have passed?
Also hasn't needed to eat.
This stupid ghoul little boy.
His parents are alive.
His parents are alive?
They're ghouls. I shit you not. This is a side quest in Fallout 4.
Are you telling me?
Yeah.
This shit idiot of a ghoul, he's a grown man.
Bring it down a notch.
I'm not going to take it, bring it down a notch. Howard?
Todd?
I swear to God,
fucker.
Mr. Todd.
This can't be right.
Is that a thing? Ghouls can't age?
I don't know. I know they are basically immortal.
Okay.
I think they become ghouls of whatever their age is. Like, they're that size a ghoul forever.
But, like, that kid can't exist for 260 years. He's trapped in a
Pure isolation. Nobody
Pure
else let him out for 260
darkness
years.
and just be like, hey, mister, I'm trapped in this fridge.
Me and my friends are playing hide and seek. What
Me and
happened?
my friends are playing hide and seek.
What are you fucking talking about?
Okay, now here's something.
Sure.
He could have been like, what happened? I heard a loud boom. Oh, shit. Like 10 years in, and it's like, I'm trapped in this refrigerator.
He'd be a fucking feral ghoul.
I'm a guy.
You'd open a fridge.
I'm sure I'm a dude.
You'd open the
200 years later, he's like, I can't get out of here. No one in this very populated wasteland
My parents live down the street.
has ever heard of me say anything. Hey, mister. 60 years later, hey, mister. My friends and I are playing hide and seek. What's
He
happening?
lost his fucking mind. Ghouls need to eat, right?
Why?
Fucking, you can't exist without nourishment.
Um,
I guess radiation heals them, but that they can't eat radiation, right? They need to drink water. Because that's what was in Fallout 3.
ghouls needed that?
Ghouls needed to drink water because they needed the water purifier.
You're right.
That's
and
correct.
if you had poisoned them, they would have died.
This children is fucking dead. That's one of the dumbest moments of Fallout 4 that I was just like, oh, what a mission. And then I thought about it for like 30 seconds and I was like, that was dumb as fuck.
Did you open it up and was it actually a small ghoul kid?
Yeah, it was like a small ghoul kid.
That's bad. How did I never see that?
It's literally just out in the middle of fucking nowhere. But that's the thing though. Fallout 4 has so many cities that it doesn't even tell you exist, or places that it doesn't even like tell you exist.
Yeah.
And you just like wander into them. And that's my favorite thing about the Fallout games. It's just like discovering this random settlement out in the middle of fucking nowhere. It's just like fucking Fallout New Vegas, the entire Brotherhood of Steel.
That's on it. You can just find. You happen upon a place with a bunch of vents. And
Yeah,
then
it's just like
they're not necessary to the game.
yeah.
What's fun? Fallout New Vegas prioritizes the settlements because of just the likability system. If you do things for the settlement, you gain standing with them. But if you kill one of their own, you lose standing with them.
Yeah.
It's not a karma system. There's no karma system in 4. There's nothing in 4.
4 is fucking nothing.
Except a settlement builder. You make the settlements that don't mean anything to you as
Fucking
a player.
awesome. They mean everything to me, dude.
I want people to comment on it. You see a settler and it's just like you just gotta take one day at a time. And they go into a gigantic casino you've made.
I made them a mansion.
You gotta take one day at a time. You become one of the most
Brotherhood of Steel ain't got shit on you. You see that field of fucking turrets?
You are in one of the most economically stable settlements in the wasteland right now, and you're like, just gotta take one day at a time.
We have pure water.
I hope I can
food.
I hope I can get food tomorrow.
A doctor's office. A bar.
They don't comment on it. It's never like, at least make some comments for the levels of happiness.
Like at 100 happiness, and they're still just like, just having a day, and it's like,
holy shit,
you.
thanks, bud. This is amazing. 0 happiness, they fight you.
What?
At 0 happiness?
Is it true?
No, at 0 happiness, they should fight you.
They should fight you.
You got
because
scared.
ruined their lives. I was like, that'd be awesome. That's so cool.
Because, yeah, if you're the leader of the settlement, and you leave, and you put up a recruitment beacon, and you get back, and there's like Food hasn't been rationed properly. There's no water pumps. They're fighting everyone and you for messing it up.
How
That
sweet
doesn't
would that be,
happen.
though?
That'd be fun.
Like, if you, as like a mean character, could like fucking set up a fucking pit and just have them fight.
I mean,
Can't you do that
you
with
can,
monsters?
You can do that with the Wasteland Workshop.
Right.
And gunners and bandits.
That's cool.
Did you ever do
Fallout
it?
4 is awesome.
Did you ever do it?
No, I didn't even beat the fucking Mechanist.
Because there's so much to do.
Also, the game glitched out of me and I couldn't fight the Mechanist correctly.
Again?
No, I only tried it once. I haven't played Fallout 4 in a year.
It glitched out on you. No, I'm saying again as in
again,
the Bethesda thing.
thing happened to me again.
We've talked about this before.
There's no way we haven't.
New
New Vegas glitched out on me. Skyrim glitched out on me.
Fallout 4 glitched out on you.
Fallout 4 glitched out on me. I like it.
Did Oblivion glitch on you?
No, I think I gave up on Oblivion. Yes, it did. Fuck.
What happened?
You remember the, or this isn't even a glitch, I guess I just did this wrong and the game didn't let me take it back. There's this one quest where you're, like, working for the Daedric gods, and there's, like, the one of chaos or intrigue or whatever the
Oh,
fuck.
you just failed. Oh, yeah, you failed the...
So what you gotta do is you gotta kill, there's this rival factions, and you gotta kill one of them, and leave the knife in.
It's not a rival faction, you just have to make the families hate each other.
Make the families hate each other. You have to kill one of them and put the knife, and I did this wrong. I killed both of them, and I forgot to leave the knives, and I was just like, whoo! Whoops!
And you can't get to the bodies because they despawn.
No, but then, like, the next morning, everybody was like, man, what happened? We don't know what happened. I was like, who could have done it? And they're like, we literally have no idea. And I'm like, fuck, that's on me. And so the next night, I snuck the knives into both drawers. And it's just like, who did it? We don't know who did it. Because I missed, like, the trigger for it to happen. And I was just like, well, I guess I can't do any of the fucking Daedra missions anymore.
Yes.
Because my last save was like 3 hours ago. I don't care this much.
It's so strange that you say that. You spent so much time playing Oblivion.
I kept starting quests.
You were like, I don't care this much about Oblivion. Oh shit, I'm still playing it. It's like that one gif. It's like that one gif of the or the picture of the one woman eating the Pop-Tart and she's like, tastes like garbage. Oh, but look, I'm still eating it. Except, I think you like Oblivion.
I like Bethesda games is the thing.
Do you?
Huh?
You haven't beaten any but 4.
What? I beat 3? Did I?
I don't know, dude. You didn't beat New Vegas. You didn't beat Skyrim. You didn't beat Oblivion. I didn't beat Oblivion. Oblivion's a hard game.
Did you beat Skyrim?
I beat Skyrim.
Huh.
I love Skyrim, dude.
I
Oh,
guess that's on me.
I love Skyrim.
I could just go beat Skyrim.
Yeah, the Thieves Quest, it's not even a problem
But the thing about
of the main quest other than Fallout New Vegas.
The thing about Bethesda games is that I don't play them to beat them. I play them until I'm satisfied. I get to a point where I'm like, I've done a lot of good stuff in this game. And I've run out of quests that I really feel like following, which is usually the main story quest.
You play them until you're satisfied, or you've broken yourself on the platinum for Fallout 4.
Yes, and I platted it.
Yes.
I more than beat Fallout 4, I platted it. I beat it, all the endings.
You could say you completed it.
I completed it.
Okay.
Completed it.
Okay. Chill out, Gerard.
Anyways.
The completionist.
Wait, I got it.
No, you didn't, because you made a confused gesture.
Anyways.
What were you going to say?
What was I going to say? But not beating New Vegas isn't on me. That's on New Vegas.
Yeah.
New Vegas didn't want me to beat it.
Yeah.
Fucking... Not beating Skyrim was because who cares about the story of Skyrim? I didn't even know what each faction stood for, so I didn't care.
It forces... Well, here the thing is, it seems like it's just better to not pursue one of the factions.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't involve... Because, like, I think Jarl Balgruuf, the Greater, is one of my favorite NPCs in Skyrim. And either side, if you side with either of them, you ruin him. because he sides with the other.
Oh, of course.
So what you want to do is continue with the main story until you can get a ceasefire. You can make the Greybeards force the two to have a ceasefire.
Huh. The dragon ending. Where I side with the dragons.
No.
Because I'm a dragon.
What's annoying about the ending is you can't choose not to kill Parthenax.
The World Eater?
No.
The old
Mario. The one who voices Mario at the top of the world. Yeah, he voices him.
Of course.
But that being said, I didn't even know that was a thing in the game.
You think he's going to make a comment about that? When it's on the Switch?
It's a me, a Parthenax.
It's a me, a Parthenax.
No, he won't say that. So, when he takes over a dragon. No, but the funny thing about that is, like, you have to talk to the Blades.
Just to know he's there?
No, just to know that you have to kill him.
Oh, of course.
They're like, you have to kill Parthenax. But at the end of the game, I was like, okay, I'm going to go to Solstheim now. And have a fun time there. The funny thing about Skyrim is, you know what my main driving force was? Being able to blacksmith more things.
Of course.
Because Solstheim made the new ice stuff.
Right,
and I'm like, I want to make that ice stuff and look cool. It was, and you wonder why I play a blacksmith in the podcast. Fucking Skyrim hooked me on it.
Yeah.
That's why I want to play Skyrim again, just so I can fucking blacksmith more things.
I never touched the fucking blacksmith system.
I loved it. I was all over
that shit.
Every single time I got to a town, I would be like, hey, can I make something new? Did I get any perks for my blacksmithing feat?
On the opposite,
the fuck was it?
I hid it in fucking Fallout 4. I was at this workbench for fucking years and years and years.
Yeah. What sucks, though, is I'm playing survival mode on Fallout 4.
Sure.
And I really want to do more with the workbench. But at the same time, I need to be more careful, because in combat, 2 shots kill me.
God.
So I've got to be like, which is more important?
Not dying?
Not dying. Making the most of radiation on my character, because it really affects everything that I do. Or being able to make a better chest piece. Most of the time I choose carry weight.
Of course.
Because carry weight is halved in Fallout 4 survival. But watching what'd be fun is next time there's a Elder Scrolls game with blacksmithing and stuff. When I have an iron sword. Say I have an iron sword.
You have an iron sword.
Cool. I kill you with it.
No.
I wouldn't do that. Because I need to smith it. If I have the iron sword, it's just a simple Skyrim design. But say I start upgrading it to a great. I'm trying to remember the tiers. Flawless, no, maybe. But I want to see little upgrades
on the sword.
On the sword.
Yeah.
And I know it's like PS3 or Xbox 360. Or vanilla PC. You can't always do that.
You think there's a mod that does that?
There might be a mod that does that. I can't be the only one that thought of that. I think it's probably just something called like better weapons.
Yeah. It turns into a lightsaber.
Well, there you go. The then step of every sword is a lightsaber.
That's probably correct, right?
I guess, dude. I mean, like. Not for a stick, like if you have a stick and then it turns into a lightsaber, it's just the light. You're just grabbing a laser.
We're talking about swords.
I know, but I'm thinking about other weapons too.
Well, don't.
Like think about
a gun. A gun can't be a lightsaber. That doesn't make any sense.
A gun that is a lightsaber is a blaster from Star Wars. Or you just shoot lightsabers.
That's a sweet gun.
But that's just the railway spike gun from Fallout 4, Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas.
Was it in New Vegas?
It probably was. Or it wasn't. Who knows? Do you know?
No, I have no idea.
Okay.
Have we made any jokes this episode?
we've done some stuff with PV. Oh wait. What kind of
joke?
Kind of irks me about Fallout New Vegas, and it's fine. I understand the system, but the wearing the different clothes will make people shoot you
On site, yeah.
on sight.
Yeah, that's dumb.
But it can lead to some fun hijinks where I killed
Guess I murdered the Brotherhood of Steel.
I killed the Brotherhood of Steel. I killed who are the guys that like poetry and live in the mountains?
Oh, the fucking
Huns.
Yeah.
Oh, I killed the Huns. Oops, you got mad at me for that.
For killing those guys?
Yeah, because I was my save
Right, of
was
course.
in the house in their big mess hall, and they all started shooting me, and I'm like, what can I do?
Yeah.
What can I do? And you're like, dude, there's so much fun stuff going on there. I'm like, I'll never see it this playthrough.
It was like that was one of the best things about Fallout was when you finally get to get the best armor and you're just walking around the fucking wastes like that. But New Vegas is like a great game. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But like this clothes system is dumb as fuck. Like, you finally got to be like the guy on the front of the box and put together this sweet fucking NCR armor.
Some people will shoot you on sight if you wear that.
Yeah, a lot of people are gonna shoot you on sight just because you're wearing that.
Maybe you just switch to the simple shirt and pants then,
Oh,
huh?
of course. My bad. Shame on me for wanting to. And it wasn't like easy to get either.
Yeah.
The game punishes you for getting the best armor.
Here's something I noticed with Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas and Oblivion. All of their crafting systems are just about keeping things the same without breaking them.
Oh, yeah.
Skyrim and Fallout 4 is about making things the best they can be with that, and they never break. Because there's never like a degradation system.
Right.
And I kind of wish it had the degradation system again in Skyrim and Fallout 4 because
Gives you reason to hit up the workbench again.
yeah, but it also it's you're seen as more of a adventurer then.
Right, because
Like you're not just some guy. Because at that point in time, you feel more like just a first-person shooter character.
yeah.
You don't feel like an adventurer or someone going in a dungeon. But I either want to play Skyrim again or continue playing Oblivion. But my PC's dead.
I think I'm gonna pick up No Man's Sky.
Don't.
I think I'm a No Man's Sky guy.
You hate games like that.
Huh?
Oh no, you already played it.
I already downloaded it. It's downloading my
Insane.
PS4 now.
Awful.
Yeah. I think it's pretty good.
No way. You haven't even started it up. It takes so long to download.
I think I'm gonna get home and clock in a couple 100 hours on it because you can really do anything.
I think that's the end of the podcast. For
What?
today. I've been your host, William.
I've been your host, Ben. What did you think of the cookies?
They're Chips Deluxe. They're always good. The milk was good too. Okay, bye.